Hello friends. I think we are live. Yes, indeed we are. Welcome to finally a sunny day in Tokyo again. We had a really awful weekend with constantly gray skies and plenty of cold rain, but today it is very nice, and I am where I ended the stream last time, in front of Shinjuku Station on the, let me think, is this the south side of Shinjuku? Yes, it's the south side of Shinjuku Station. So I think I ended last stream over there on the bridge. And today I will continue my walk along the Chuo line. Whoops, almost falling over before I've even started. So we'll see how far I'll make it today. First I had some idea about, I'm gonna try to make it all the way to Kichijoji, which is pretty far, but definitely doable. But then I realized that I will actually be passing some of my most, some of the parts of Tokyo that are most close to my heart, in the sense that I've lived there for a very long time. So I don't want to rush that. So we'll see where we end today. I think I will do somewhere between 2 to 3 hours today. And yeah, I'm not gonna push it and try to get as far as possible. Instead I will focus on showing, I don't know, nice places, I guess. And I'm sure some of you are waiting for the weather report, so let's get that out of the way. Just a moment. Here we go. So we're in Shinjuku. It's 11 degrees. Feels like 10. Clear skies. Getting warmer. Light wind. I did not eat lunch before this stream. No. I think I will grab a light snack somewhere. And it looks like the horizon is a bit messed up. Let's see if that resolves itself, or if I need to manually adjust it. Let's see. I think I will take the east side today. I walked on the no, sorry, wait, now I'm messed up. This is yes, I'm heading to the east side of Shinjuku, right? I walked so much in the western side, but today I will do the east side. I should have taken that bridge instead. Oh well. Yes, the horizon is pretty messed up. Let me adjust that. The stream will probably freeze for a moment, but I will be back with you very soon. Okay, I'm back, and I hope it's a little bit better now. Have you been to America? Yes, I have. I've been twice. Once to New York, roughly 15, no more, 17 maybe, 8 years ago. And then I was in Hawaii 2017. But that's it. I would love to see more of America. Yeah. Have you seen the Suica penguin statue? Yes, I've closed in on it several times in my streams actually. And yes, I am careful, taking COVID precautions, of course. I'm sure you are all familiar with it, but Shinjuku Station is the biggest train station in the world. I don't remember how many people that pass through here on an average day, but I think it's something like, is it 2 million every day? Yurikamome line. I did Yurikamome line 2 weeks ago. Check my archive. It's a long 4-hour walk. It was great though. I loved it. And Rio, please stop spamming. I got your point. Yes. One time is enough. Obviously the number of people right now is significantly less than what it's usually like, but yeah. What percentage of Japanese speak English? Maybe 5 can hold a conversation reasonably well. Maybe 5%. Not sure. Most people understand a little bit if you speak very slowly and simplify what you're saying. They can understand you. But interesting cone setup here, by the way. But yeah, in terms of being able to hold a conversation, I would say maybe something like 5-ish or so percent in Tokyo. If you go to like the countryside, it's probably less than that. So I'm still just walking along the station, so just the Shinjuku Station area is pretty massive. Interesting thing. Is this new? I think this statue is relatively new. I don't remember seeing it before. Well, already 300 people watching. Nice. So yeah, I'm a bit sad that I couldn't stream at all this weekend, but at least I'm happy that I could. Wait, take a look at this. I'm happy that I could make up for it somewhat by this stream today. Look at this. Interesting little castle. I think it's a karaoke. Yeah, it's a karaoke place. Zooming in and out is really a pain on my phone, by the way. Oh, this is also new. Yeah, there used to be a street here. Now it's all pedestrian plaza. Oh, this is much nicer. It was always such a hassle to walk over across the street here. Now it's much easier. Great. Good job, Tokyo. And here is Studio Alta, which is a very famous meeting point whenever you're meeting your friends in Shinjuku. Like down here under this big TV screen is a very common spot. And here's the Chuo line train coming in to Shinjuku Station. So we will be following the train tracks today for most of this walk. Down here we have Kabukicho, the infamous red light district. But I think I won't be passing through much of it today. I've walked there so many times, so let's try to take a slightly different route. Yeah, I need to add the shoe question to my FAQ. I do wear simple Nike sneakers, but actually I think I need to invest in a pair of good walking shoes, because I noticed that now, since I started doing all these like long 3-4 hour streams regularly, I actually started getting a little bit of pain in my lower back, and I think it could have to do with the shoes, that I'm not walking properly in these. So I might invest in something more ergonomically correct. And yes, that was someone sleeping on the ground. There's quite a bit of homeless people here in Shinjuku, actually. Thank you, hey. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. So I think I'll cross under the bridge here. There used to be lots of homeless people here, but now there's just cones instead. By Skechers walking shoes, they're good. Okay, I will look into those. We'll look into those. Have your foot evaluated? Yeah, I might do that actually. I think that might be a worthy investment. Maybe I can deduct it as a business expense, since I'm having a walking YouTube channel. Thank you, Jerry. Thanks for the advice. So yeah, let's cross here. Then I think we will get a slightly better view of the train tracks. So basically I've been streaming for 15 minutes, and all I did so far is I walked from the south end to the north end of Shinjuku Station. So that should give you a bit of a clue as to how big this station is. So I just pinned the message that please read the FAQ in the video description before asking questions, because there's always a bunch of new viewers asking the same things that are already answered in the FAQ. So please take a look there if you're new to this channel. That's just to make the actual things I say a little bit more interesting to those who have been following me for a while, so that I don't have to reply to the same questions 100 times over. And I think I got super chats. Oh, I did indeed. I got one from Clint Arnold and one from Michael Sneer. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support. It's very encouraging. I'm now walking in parallel with the train tracks. The train tracks are just one block down here, and we will soon get to the Okubo area, Shin-Okubo, which is quite famous for its large Korean population. Here we get a glimpse of the train tracks. I've seen the Vasa ship, yes. Sorry, I did not answer that question. I've seen it. It's a really nice museum. I recommend it. If you go to Stockholm, go to the Vasa Museum. Thank you very much, Jenny. Thank you. Appreciate it, as always. Are there food trucks? Yes, there are food trucks in various places around Tokyo. They're becoming quite common. I think most Swedes, at least if you grew up relatively close to Stockholm, you tend to go there with your school to the Vasa Museum. So for those of you who don't know, Vasa is like this famous Swedish battleship built several hundred years ago that, like, it was supposed to be like the pride of the Swedish army, and it took like really long time to build it, and then on its maiden voyage it sunk just as it left the harbor in Stockholm. So we Swedes are pretty crap at engineering, I guess, or at least we used to be. Hopefully we're a bit better now. What's the most interesting place in Japan you've been to that you didn't think you would find interesting? That's Army, Navy, I don't know. I'm not good with military terms, but yeah, okay, Navy probably. If it's Army but on the ocean, it's called Navy. Sorry. I don't know. I've been around Japan so much, so it's really difficult to pick like one specific place like that, but I don't know. A relatively recent trip that I did was to Niigata, which is not so far from Tokyo. It's like 2 hours on the Shinkansen, or 1.5 hours maybe. And actually that area has a ton of really beautiful Japanese gardens. Like the density of how many gardens there are per person is very high. So that was a bit surprising, and I'm not like a big garden maniac or anything like that, but I really enjoyed it, and it was very interesting to see how, you know, all these traditional Japanese gardens and the different styles of gardens that there are. So I enjoyed that. So I think, yeah, it's like lunch hour right now, so that's why there's so many people out and about. It's a little bit crowded around here right now. Ichigaya Dai. I see. Yeah, I don't know about that place, but I'll look into it. Have you had lunch? No, I have not had lunch. I might grab a snack somewhere while walking. I was hoping to be able to start a little bit earlier today, but yeah, for schedule reasons I couldn't, so. these things like infection rate, like I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. It's better to ask like Google for those things. You will get a bit more accurate answer. So I think I want to cross here actually. Almost 100k active cases in Japan right now. I don't think that's correct. I think what you're talking about is the total number of cumulative cases, but it's important to know that many of those have most likely recovered. But again, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I think 100k active cases sounds very high, considering that the numbers here are relatively low. But feel free to correct me if there is indeed 100,000 active cases, then I shall stand corrected. Ah, okay, Marky, sorry, I was wrong, you were right. That's, yeah. Again, like I don't really give that much attention to the numbers here in Japan because I have very little trust in them, because one number which I think is very crucial is how large percentage of the population that actually gets tested, and that percentage is very low here in Japan, and that makes all the other numbers very questionable to me. So we are approaching Kuanji Station. So I think, yeah, here's the anything. Then do you expect a random YouTuber to know? Like, I have no idea. Maybe a bit wonky reception around here. Have you visited Hokkaido? Yes, a couple of times. Would love to go again. It's a nice place. I've been only twice, I think. Twice or 3 times maybe. JT, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining my page on my channel. So for those of you who didn't know, I recently added this membership function to my channel. So if you want to support me, that's one way to do so. And you will get those cool little marks next to your name in the chat. And there might also be some other goodies coming soon. have the train tracks here, but I need to walk down a block in order to be able to follow those. Let me just do a little map check here. Yep, I'm on the right track. Did you eat ksaya? Yes, I've had ksaya a couple of times. It's pretty good, I like it. Hachinoko, I'm not sure. Don't think I know that. I think from here on, the number of people on the streets should calm down a little bit. Ah, bee babies. I see. I ate it in Korea once. I'm not sure if it's the same one as in Japan, but I had it in Korea. Like these bee larvae, which were like dipped in honey or something. It was pretty good. I liked it. So down here it's Koreatown, by the way. Shinokubo. But I won't be passing there today. Pretty interesting, this building. This looks so shiny. Crunchy, yeah, they're pretty crunchy. It tasted a little bit like soil mixed with honey, which sounds way worse than it actually was. But it had this like soily texture to it, and yeah, other than the like honey flavor, it was not really, it didn't have that much of a strong taste or anything. Have you ever been to Tohoku? Yes, many times, many times. So annoying. I think the horizon is still pretty messed up, right? What do you say? Should I correct it? Or is it acceptable the way it is? This is a very thin and narrow. Oh, okay, it wasn't. It's kind of like triangle shaped building. It looked very thin and narrow from the other side. Picture quality is okay. Okay, good. Thank you. I don't have my head on straight away. Okay. So, passing under the train tracks now. So basically the Chuo line, it goes like to the north for a little while, and then it makes like a turn towards the west, and then it's like super straight. So if you look it up on a map, you will see it's like it looks like it's almost drawn there like with a ruler, and someone just drew a line on the map. That's the train lines that we are following today. Feel like we passed here already before. No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that I've never walked here before, but it's not a terribly interesting part right now, but soon we will get closer to Nakano, which is a super nice area. Oh, and here we have which train is this? It's the Matsumoto train, I think. The Asagaya, I'm sorry, the chat is pretty active today. I'm not able to read all the messages.日本語はね、日本語学校行きました。1年間ぐらい。10年前ですよね。うん、そうですね。10年前は、1年間日本語学校に行きました。そこで日本語を勉強しました。Yeah, the bicycle lane thing is kind of weird and a little bit annoying in Japan. So basically you're supposed to ride your bike on the street with the cars, but you are allowed to ride it on the sidewalk if it's too dangerous to ride with the cars, or something very vague like that. So I find it quite fascinating for a country that's otherwise so obsessed with rules and where there's so much strict rules and manners about everything. But when it comes to riding a bike, it's like total chaos. Hey Hamilt, my daughter says this is like live walking in Tokyo. Thanks for this. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that your daughter enjoys this little walk. What kind of things are sold in vending machines? Mainly, here's the Chuo line train. Mainly drinks, but there are vending machines for many other things as well. But the way most common one is selling drinks. And I think the second next common one would be probably these ice cream vending machines that are pretty common as well. That sells cheap and not so tasty ice cream cones. I will see if I find one of those. Do any train lines travel exclusively underground? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there are train lines that are exclusively underground, but I cannot give a 100% sure answer without looking it up. You worry about radiation exposure? No. I don't. Because I trust in science, and science says that we have nothing to worry about. Maruki 2つ言語も漢字読めないまあヨーロッパ人はほとんど2つか3つの言葉、3つの言語喋りますね。スウェーデンにとってはみんなもちろんスウェーデン語プラス英語ともう1個高校から選べます。僕はドイツ語勉強しました。だからドイツ語も喋れます。 It's getting a bit warm. It's such a nice day to walk today. That guy was just saying, be careful, we're doing some construction work here, so please be careful. You see those people wherever they're like digging a small hole in the street, there's like 10 people standing around it just telling pedestrians not to fall into the hole. It's pretty funny. It's kind of similar to the excessive use of cones in this country, but with humans instead. Don't you get tired from all the walking every single day? No, I need it. I get tired if I can't walk on a single day. Like this weekend I couldn't walk. That was very tiring. But going out like this is making me feel great. Cute little park here, very lush and green. Don't think I've ever passed this before. Toto, I sense some irony. No, I was basically just staying in all weekend, so it was pretty crappy. I think we should be getting close to Higashi Nakano Station, but let me take a look here on the map. Yes, indeed, I was right. What's the meaning of red triangles on windows? I think that means that it's an emergency exit. You see it quite often on office buildings. Let's see. I will try to show you next time I see it. So we are actually passing Kanda River, which is the same river as we were walking along in the last stream. Cute little river. Yeah, pizza is relatively expensive here in Japan, which is a bit odd. yen. Sorry, but that's not enough. Is your schedule going the same since you didn't live stream yesterday? Yeah. Today I'm continuing what I started in my last live stream, so yeah. But we'll see. I'll probably also throw in a few other streams during my Chuo line series, because like this, doing these Chuo line walks really takes at least half a day of my time, just because of the logistics, and I have to just getting to and from the starting point. So tomorrow I will probably do an evening stream, but not along the Chuo line, so just somewhere else because of schedule reasons. I may not be able to continue this Chuo line walk until the weekend. Not sure though, but possibly. Mecca of hair. Your posting schedule is exhausting. Well, I don't really have a proper schedule though, but I try to do 2 walks during the weekdays and then also Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, since it's so weather dependent, it's difficult to stick to a schedule. 3 days a week, well 4 ideally. Well, ideally I want to do 7 days a week, but since I have more important obligations in my life, that's not really possible, but yeah, 4 days is what I'm targeting right now. Your lives are the best. I enjoy to watch it. Thank you very much. Here's something we don't see that often today, and it's not in use anymore, but it's a vending machine for newspapers. Thank you, XXX. Papa needs new shoes. Thank you very much. Are you going back to Fukuoka? Yes, hopefully. But I was supposed to be there right now, or in Kyushu right now. But we had to cancel that trip because of the state of emergency. And it seems like, well, most likely this state of emergency will be extended even longer. So I don't know when my next work trip will be. After you finish walking along the railways in Tokyo, how about walking rivers such as Tamagawa? Yeah, I would love to do that. I've done several walks along Tamagawa already, but not like a proper, really long series following it. I would love to do that, definitely. Yes, this is live. Thank you so much for entertaining us while we're stuck inside. Thank you so much for walking with me when I cannot meet real people. Always good to hear that you enjoy it. Someone asked about soundproofing homes. It really varies. Some houses are relatively well soundproofed, but others are not. It really depends on the pricing and the standard. But a lot of places here have very thin walls, so you cannot take insulation for granted, that's for sure. So Higashi Nakano station is a few blocks down this way, so I will head down there and then I can walk pretty much next to the train tracks. newer construction doing better with insulation and soundproofing than older. You still see a lot of like really cheap and flimsy buildings being constructed as well. So I wouldn't say so, but if you're looking at like more nicer, properly higher quality buildings, I guess that they should be better insulated now than 30 years ago due to, you know, technological progress. But I don't know, I'm not really that familiar with the subject, so I'm only guessing here. Can you look in a mirror or reflective window? Curious about your camera gear. Well, I've shown it off countless times in my streams, but it's very straightforward. It's just a phone on a mobile gimbal, nothing fancy or anything. But let's see if we find something reflective. I will show it to you. Where is TE now? I am next to Higashi Nakano Station. Station is over there. So it's the JR Sobu line, and then there's also the Uedo line stops here. This is the subway station. Thanks for the show, my friend. Really enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. So yeah, here's the Higashi Nakano Station. Here's a little shopping street, so let's just walk down this street and then we can head up to the train tracks instead. I think T has been here before. No, I don't think so. I don't think I've ever done a stream around here, to be honest. I don't think I've ever streamed around Nakano. Or have I? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think so. But maybe, you know, a lot of these shopping streets tend to look quite similar, so that could be why. Konnichiwa, 私の近所。あ、そうですか。いいね。いいところ住んでますね。Indeed, after Higashi Nakano, the train tracks become super straight. You shall all see that very soon. Yeah, I hope you can make it to Tokyo once things are back to normal again. Yeah, there's not much trash on the streets. I should add something about that in the FAQ too. People always mention it. It's pretty remarkable though. Let's turn here. Because I think this street is like kind of diverting from the train tracks. Earthquake ever hit during one of your live streams? No, not one that I've been able to feel, at least. Who knows? It might happen sometime. Hopefully not. Speaking of that, we are getting closer to the 10-year anniversary of the big Tohoku earthquake when the Fukushima disaster and all that happened. It was a very terrifying experience. Lauren Santiago, I got my vaccine. Oh, congrats. Kratos Smith, thank you very much. Can't wait to visit in March 2021. Really? Visit in March? Are you already have everything taken care of in terms of permissions and stuff? Because right now no one is allowed to enter Japan except a very, very tiny group of people. So I hate to bring bad news, but yeah, it might be a bit difficult to come here in March. This is a cute baby phone. Oh. Mm. So let me see. I'm a little bit confused right now, just if I'm heading in the right direction or not, and I'm not really. I need to turn here. This looks like a very newly built low-rise apartment complex, probably very expensive. I'm 6'4" tall. I don't know what 6'4" means, but I guess you are taller than the most, and in that case you might hit your head a couple of times, but other than that you'll be fine. You might have like some very uncomfortable bus rides if you're ever planning to ride a bus, but yeah, other than that you're fine. I'm pretty tall as well, and I've survived here for 13 years, so 193 centimeters. Okay, I'm 100, what am I? 190 almost, 88 or 89 I think. So yeah, you'll be fine. I am heading down to the train tracks now. Very 天気ですね。そうですね。今日は本当に気持ちいい。ちょうどいい散歩天気。Train tracks, Chuo line. So now we have a very straight walk ahead, but I think I will, once we get down to Nakano, I will probably do a bit of a detour through the Nakano area, just because I had so many people requesting me to do Nakano walks, and it's also such a nice area. Thank you, Toto, for the super chat. Since you like Italy, your thoughts on Japanese Italian food, especially the weird fusion pasta. It's okay. It can be pretty good. I like pasta with tarako, which is this kind of spicy cod roe. No, that's mentaiko. Well, anyway, yeah, they have like many kind of Japanese versions of different pasta dishes, and they're generally quite good. But like, I don't know, if I want to eat Japanese, I prefer proper Japanese, and if I want to eat Italian, I prefer proper Italian. So it's not something I eat terribly often. Waseda 通りに出て中野ブロードウェイルートじゃないのね。今は線路沿いに歩いてますけど、中野に着いたら多分中野ブロードウェイと早稲田通りの方に行きたいと思います。You ever make it over to the Funabashi area? Very seldom, yeah, because I live in pretty much the opposite side of town, so Funabashi is very far from where I live, and I really don't have any reason to go there very often. So getting close to Nakano Broadway, somewhat. I think I will be in Nakano in like 15 minutes maybe. Getting quite hungry. Oh, now I feel like a kind of rush of nostalgia. Like, because I used to live in Nakano for 3 years before moving to my current place, and I haven't really been back much, but I used to take walks around here quite often, and I really like this neighborhood because it's so quiet and cozy and residential. When I get to Nakano, I will try to grab something to eat. So you see that high-ish residential building in the back? That's next to Nakano Broadway. Nakano Broadway is this famous, relatively famous shopping center that has lots of geeky stuff. There's lots of good Chinese food in Japan. Many Chinese restaurants are run by Chinese people. Chinese are the most, like the biggest population of non-Japanese people in Japan. The biggest is Chinese, and the second biggest is Korean. So you can get lots of good and pretty authentic food from those countries pretty easily. Wedding in Nakano-san Plaza. Wow, that's nostalgic. That's such a... They're about to tear down that building, right? We see it. Yeah, we see the top of it right now. I think I heard that it's about to be demolished quite soon. Do you think Japan will open to tourists this summer? I don't know. Possibly, but depends on how desperate things get in terms of economics. But I doubt it. I doubt it. That's what Japanese garbage collection looks like. So like clockwork, whenever the stream hits the 1 hour mark, the chat stops working for me and I can only check it on my secondary phone. First hour I can see everything on my streaming phone, which is pretty convenient, but it always stops. Cute little dog waiting for its owner. I'm crossing here. Oh, I think I need to press. That's a very modern thingy. Will you walk in Mitaka? Yes, eventually. Maybe not today, but since I will be passing Mitaka on my way to Takao, I will definitely walk there. There used to be a really cool shop down here, but I think they moved. A shop called Meteor that was selling, like, I think mostly unofficial video game merchandise. Or maybe official. Probably official. Pretty cool place anyway. Ghibli Museum. I won't go to the Ghibli Museum, but I might pass it. Is it normally this quiet? Yes. Residential areas here in Tokyo are usually very, very, very quiet. Not beer o'clock, no. I'm afraid not. You're going to be climbing Mount Takao. There's already a climbing Mount Takao video on my channel. It's actually one of the first videos I made back in 2018. Pretty bad video quality, but or maybe not. I think it's still 4K, but it was shot with a pretty crappy phone. So I've already climbed Mount Takao. I might do it again, but the purpose of this series is to walk along the train tracks. If I'm climbing the mountain at the end, that will be maybe a nice little bonus, but it depends on things like my schedule and my and the weather, I guess, once I get there. There are many cheap apartments in Nakano. Yes, there are. It's a relatively affordable area to live, despite it being so close from Shinjuku and central Tokyo, and also having really good train access. I really enjoyed living in Nakano. It's probably my favorite place that I've ever lived in Tokyo. What's the longest you can stay in Japan as a tourist? Depends on where you're coming from, but most countries residents are given a 3-month permission to stay upon arrival, so that's basically the longest, but you can always just leave and come back and get another 3 months after that, which is usually not a big problem, but you can only do that like once per year. If you try to spend more than 6 months here in 1 year on tourist visas, it might be difficult. They might deny you. I mean, there's cheap apartments in Nakano, but there's also expensive apartments in Nakano, so it's not like all are cheap. But there's cheap apartments pretty much everywhere in Tokyo, in most neighborhoods. I think Nakano has a pretty good mix. It's cheap enough to attract interesting people. Yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed it. The area I'm living in now is considered a much kind of better area, according to most Japanese people I've talked to, but personally I actually liked Nakano way better. See if we can find somewhere to grab a snack soon. That would be nice. I'm getting a bit hungry. Ah, thank you, Hertz Nazarie. Hope I pronounced that right. Thank you very much for the super chat. Where's a nice place to live in Sweden? I don't know. Depends really on what kind of life you want to live. Stockholm is a pretty good city. Beautiful in the summer. Well connected. Lots of things to see and do. But I'm more fond of Malmö in the south, even though it's a bit of a rougher city that has a bit of a crime problem. But it's also a very, very interesting city with lots of interesting people and good food, and it's very affordable, which I think is a plus. And it's super close to Denmark and Copenhagen, which I think is a much nicer and interesting city than Stockholm. And it's also very close to Copenhagen Airport, which is the best airport in Scandinavia. So it's very easy to get around once, if things ever go back to normal again. How many languages do you speak? 4. Swedish, German, Japanese and English. So now we are in Nakano. Here's one of the best camera shops. One of the best camera shops in Tokyo. Fujiya. I bought so many of my lenses here. Oh, and they have expanded. I did not know that. So when I used to live here, this was Fujiya. Here. But now they also have this side. Interesting. Oh, thank you, Joseph Taylor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the generous super chat. So let me see. Where shall I go now? Maybe a quick little tour of the Nakano Station area, I guess. So here's Nakano Station. Oh, so nostalgic. It's a pretty cool standing udon restaurant. I don't know how many hundreds of photos I've shot of that place throughout the years. And here is Nakano Sun Road. No, is it called Sun Road? Yeah, Sun Mall, which is the major shopping street here in Nakano that leads up to Nakano Broadway. So let's walk down here. Keep checking the mail for a postcard. Oh yeah? I got a message from, who was that? Fungus, I think, who told me he received his postcard the other day. So it really takes a long time. I mean, I sent those in December. But if it doesn't arrive, please send me a direct message through Patreon, and I'll see what I can do. Because you should have all have received a postcard with the red torii gate in a lake. That's the most recent one I sent, and I will be sending the next ones any day now. So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I have a Patreon page, and some people are in my postcard club, so they get a postcard with one of my photos sent to them by post every month. So if you are interested in that, you can check out the link to my Patreon. It's in the video description. These streets around here are gorgeous at night, especially like rainy nights. So good for photography, this area. I would love to walk around showing you everything, but yeah, this is not really a Nakano walk. Oh, and someone asked about the equipment, so here you go, here's a close-up. So when I started dating my new wife, I was living very close to here, and we often went to this Excelsior for breakfast. So that's very nostalgic. I will send her a photo of that shop now. So here's Nakano Broadway, which is this shopping mall with lots of geeky shops selling geeky stuff. I won't go inside because I think that's should be the subject for another video. If I do, but yeah. There's a family mart over here. So this is the hotel. I think it's a hotel we talked about before. Will be demolished soon. It's a bit of an iconic building. Right, Jenny, there's Fujiavik in there as well, which is a good place for buying audio gear. So the place I used to live is like 3 minutes up this way. So let me get a little bit of lunch here at Family Mart. I won't be having a beer today actually. Some orange juice. I slept very poorly last night, so I don't want to drink alcohol today. My lunch. Looks good. Taiwanese. あ、お願いします。あとこの台湾まぜそば風肉まん。はい。はい、660円です。はい。追加でお願いします。追加で。はい。全部一緒に入れて大丈夫ですか？あ、大丈夫です。はい。Hey, so I just got myself some breakfast, or not breakfast, lunch. See, I am sleepy. Like I said, I didn't sleep very well. So I will go down to there's a nice park here, or actually not that nice, but it's a park at least, where I will sit down for lunch. Nakano Chuo. this building here is also some like NTT Docomo structure. Not sure if there's some office in there or if it's just like some equipment or what it's for, but yeah. So we've been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes today. So yeah, definitely have a little bit further to go. Meiji 大学の近く、そうですね、この辺なんか明治大学もありますよね。この公園のすぐ近く。And thank you, Rockaway Siren, for always promoting my streams on your Instagram stories. I appreciate that. So here's the park that I mentioned. Not terribly exciting, but it's a decent place to sit down for lunch anyway. Looks like we're not allowed to go on the grass right now. Usually in the summers it's like full of people having picnics here. But we can go a little bit further down here. We're allowed to. There's benches. Not a ton of them, but there's actually some food trucks as well. They're always here. And here's the. No, this is not. これは明治大学ではないね。なんていう帝京平成大学。でもその建物、そこの建物はなんか早稲田が書いてある。So these are like some university buildings. I'm not sure exactly which university they all belong to, but yeah. So let's see if we can find a decent place to sit down, far away from the people, so that I don't have to feel too awkward talking to you while I eat. Maybe here. Oh, but it's a little bit wet. That's not nice. I don't want to leave with a wet butt. Thank you, S. Maybe I'll be able to sit down here. Let's see. Are these cubes also wet? No, looks dry. Excellent. Excelente. So, hang on a moment, folks. Need to put the camera down on my tripod, and I will sit down here for 5 minutes or so and have a little lunch break. Are you able to hear me now? I'm not super close to the camera, but I hope sound is acceptable. folks. Lunchtime for me. Again, another sad streaming lunch consisting of nikuman, onigiri, and no beer, but some orange juice today. ASMR time. Taiwan まぜそば肉まん美味しいのかな。うん、美味しいよ。ちょっと辛い。辛くて美味しい。中はこんな状態です。So this Taiwanese 肉まん is pretty good. It's a little bit spicy. So yeah, sorry, I will focus on eating rather than talking and try to get going soon. Now it's time for Torosaba. So this is macro flavored. Yeah, nikuman is pretty much the same as Chinese baozi. It's a very tiny piece of fish inside. A bit disappointing. And yeah, it's getting a bit windy here as well. It's always windy in this park. I think it's because of all the buildings surrounding it or something. Yeah, I did get 2 onigiris. I think I'll just have one now and save the other one for later maybe. I think this should be enough. Okay, I'm done. I'm done for now. Hello, bird. Oh, wait. Gosh. So now we will be heading towards Kuanji, which is another one of the nicer neighborhoods in Tokyo, if you ask me. Yeah, very quick lunch. I didn't want to keep you waiting for too long. It's so stressful when you eat and you see the number of viewers is like constantly dropping. That motivates you to eat quickly, I guess. Ah, yes, this is Meiji University. そうですね、ここ明治大学ですね。この建物。そうか、気づかなかった。なんかいろんな大学の建物があるんだ。知らなかった。長い何年間住んでたけど。1.5 hours of streaming now. Wonder how long I'll make it today. 2.5, 3.5, 4? Sorry, I think I just burped. Such a guy talking dokkoi sho って日本人そうですね。日本人のなんか日本人のおばあさんっぽいですね。どっこいしょ。いつも楽しく拝見させていただきます。自分も散歩しているみたいな気分、楽しみです。ありがとうございます。These university buildings are pretty massive, actually. Can someone tell me what flight this is? Where is it heading? Where did it come from? How's the battery holding out so far? The record is like 4 hours. But I don't know, it's a little bit. Now I have 60% left, so I don't think it would last for 4 hours today. I think it might have a little bit to do with the weather and the temperature. I don't know, but it's not that cold today though. Or maybe it's like some other stupid app in the background draining the battery or something. Because it was 100% when I started today. Let's head down to Waseda Dori, which is this. Or no, sorry, I'll take that back. Let's not do that. Let's head down to the train tracks. After all, that's the theme. Right from Haneda to Beijing. Yeah. I see. When do you think tourists can visit? I don't know. I have no idea. No one knows how this pandemic will, play out in the coming weeks and months. So it's impossible to say. but Japan tends to be take a pretty cautious approach, so I think things need to get significantly better before they will consider letting tourists in. Playground. Here's the train tracks. Cautious, yeah, not compared to Taiwan maybe, but compared to countries in Europe or the US, I think Japan has a pretty cautious approach. But yeah, you're right. And Taiwan and other places, and Australia as well, is way more strict, of course. Are you vaccinated? No, vaccinations hasn't started in Japan yet, and it's estimated that maybe in Gogatsu, what's that? May, June, at the earliest, they will start vaccinating like people who don't belong to a risk group. So we're still pretty far away from getting vaccine here. First, they will start late February with elderly people and a handful of others. That's the estimate, but I don't know. Considering how incompetent the handling has been here, I'm pretty skeptical.東京での気に入る散歩スポットはどこですか？いっぱいありますよ。最近はいろんな電車の線路に散歩しました。先週はゆりかもめ、その前は山手線、今は中央線。それはちょっと楽しいと思います。なんか目的があるの散歩が楽しい。でもいっぱいありますね。東京はとてもなんか楽しい面白いところ多すぎるから。 crossing Kannama Dori, which is one of the bigger kind of like circular main roads in Tokyo. We are almost at Kuanji Station. I think this is a live venue, public theater it says, but I think there used to be like music events there as well. Maybe not right now though. Yeah, not really a clear bicycle lane, but in Tokyo this is often as clear as it gets as to where to ride your bicycle. The yellow line on the walkway, it kind of has a different texture, so it's for people with impaired vision to be able to find their way. So whenever there's like a street crossing coming up, you can see that the texture changes. There's a pretty interesting painting here, street art. Now there's a car parked in front of it. You can see that we're getting closer to the station in the sense that the density of restaurants is increasing. The YouTube automatic moderation filter is very sensitive, so it just blocked your message, Michael Semira. Your most recent message was automatically held for review by YouTube. Kind of funny reasons. Where are we now? We're at Kuanji Station. This is Kuanji Station just in front of us. Yeah, the YouTube filter is pretty strict, so please keep that in mind when you're sending your messages. This is Kuanji Station. Maybe Should we walk through it? Yeah, why not? I can show you this little plaza. So you see this orange line, that's the Chuo line, that's the one we're walking along. So we started in Tokyo and then I walked all the way to Kuanji now, and we have quite a bit left to go. Where's Takao? Here's Takao. That's the goal of my walk, Takao. But that will probably take a few more days of walking before I get there. Kuanji Station. This is a really nice area. I like Kuanji a lot. Wouldn't mind living here again someday. Takao まで歩くの。そうです。そうです。今日は高尾までは歩けないけど、毎日毎日ちょっとずつ中央線沿いに。これは2番目のエピソード。最初は東京駅から新宿まで。今日は新宿からどこまでだろう。まだわかんない。I think I will walk down this way and then turn right, just to give you a little bit of sample of the Kuanji. So there's lots of like shops selling clothes in this neighborhood, both like vintage and just general cheap clothes. It's quite popular, like among kind of similar to Harajuku. Kuanji is also a little bit of a area that's popular among the fashion crowd. Yeah, I think Asagaya could be the goal for today's walk. Asagaya is the next station among the Chuo line, so I think that's gonna be quite like a good place to wrap up today's walk, I think. I like this little coffee shop as well, but not really in a coffee mood today. Turn down here. It's an interesting name. Kuro Kuro Kuro. Black, black, black. this is a pretty nice little temple. Let's have a quick little look in here. I love how you just need to walk like 1 block away from the busy shopping street and you have like this kind of quiet oasis. Here, I wonder if this place is still, yeah, it looks like it's still in operation. This is a pretty nice, very old vintage coffee shop. Meikyoku. Oh, I think they do, like, they play classical music as well. It's a very nice, very charming old kisatan. So jazz music. There's still a low smoking in Kisatan. I think that one now had a sign saying that it's not allowed. Last time I went there it was allowed still, but I think they're phasing that out, which is a very good thing. There are lots of vintage clothes shops here. I should come back here as well and do just a dedicated stream about Kuanji, because this area, especially at night, is just so awesome. I will never run out of things to shoot for my channel as long as I'm in Tokyo, that's for sure. Nice snack, Suzuran. Very old apartment building here. Rice shop, そうですね。ライスショップもあったね。They're going to extend state of emergency. Yeah, I don't think they can lift it now, just 2 weeks from now. I don't think that's gonna be possible. I'm expecting it to be extended at least until March. Depending on what happens, could be longer than that. Interesting name. So I'm heading back up to the train tracks now. stay more on the right course rather than just wandering around and getting, you know, too caught up, forgetting what this walk is actually about. Do you do this full time? No. I'm a photographer. That's what I do for a living. Walking is just what I do on my free time. There's a lot of nice yakitori shops here under the train tracks as well. This place is gorgeous at night. So, I'll just give you a little peek. So this street is very nice. Lots of restaurants here too. But again, I'll save that for a dedicated Kuanji walk.すごい雰囲気。そう、この辺すごい、特に夜が最高。Basically now we're walking under the train tracks, under the Chuo line tracks, and we can walk here all the way to Asagaya, which is what we are doing. Lots of unused space here too. Maybe they will build more shops or something. They could extend this shopping street all the way to Asagaya, I guess. That would be nice, rather than just have a bike parking. Yakitori 食べたいね。美味しいね。We are just crossing the 2-hour mark, and we are also getting very close to Asagaya, so I think I will end the stream at Asagaya. Actually, like I said, I didn't sleep very well last night and I'm a bit tired today, so I think a short 2-hour stream is enough. Yeah, there is tagging in Tokyo. It's not very common. You don't see it that often, but especially in places like this, you can find it. Want to get home for that mid-afternoon nap? Yeah, well, not really, but just, I don't know, I'm a little bit sleepy and it's a bit always walking and also at the same time, you know, checking the chat and whatnot. It's a bit mentally tiring sometimes, especially on days like this when I'm not feeling very well. Oh, this is new. So I guess they took this old apartment building and turned it into something slightly more oshare. I wonder if it's maybe it's like a share house or something. Didn't know this. Should I take this way instead? It's a little bit boring just walking under the train tracks, right? I don't think these are very high class, to be honest. I think it's like relatively cheap apartments for young people. Let's check the other side of the train tracks. That's Asagaya down there. Oh, I can't really walk here. Okay, let's go under the tracks for a while then. Do you see yourself ultimately doing YouTube full time? Maybe. I'm enjoying this a lot. And once I have a bit more free time on my hands, I would like to try a few other things on YouTube as well. Not only these walking videos, but I have a few other ideas that I would like to realize. So who knows? If I could do that and make a living out of it, that would be great. But it depends. Like it has to be things that I enjoy. I would not like create change my style and create types of videos that I don't enjoy making just in order to get more views and profit. Then I'd rather keep it as a hobby, because I enjoy my real job as well. So my photography background is apparent. Thank you. That's good to hear. Oh, is this also new? Wow, this area has changed a lot. Looks like they made a new shopping street here under the train tracks. Interesting. Maybe reception here is not great, yeah. And we are back. Great. Are we back? Is everybody with me? I keep repeating myself, but this is also a very nice area at night. Like so many of the neighborhoods along Chuo line. Okay, I'm back. That's good. Interesting, almost very old house with a big garden. A place like this. I think this Starbucks is new. Here's like tunnel to the station, I guess. You've been walking around often. Do you think Tokyo City is well organized? Depends. I mean, it's a pretty chaotic city. There's not that much in terms of city planning. It has kind of grown into what it is relatively organically, I think. It feels like that, certainly. But that being said, it's very well organized in terms of how easy it is to get around, and the public transportation system is like super amazing. So in that sense it's good, but I don't know exactly what you mean by well organized, so a bit difficult to answer your question. Here's also pretty nice local shopping streets here in Asagaya. Don't remember what's the name of this one. Don't remember. Let's take a quick look here before we end the stream. We're at the station though, but yeah. It's getting very crowded down here, so for COVID reasons I won't go any further, but yeah, it's an interesting place nonetheless. Let's head out here and go down to the station, and I will end the stream there. Yeah, thanks a lot for everybody who joined me today. That was very nice. I'm surprised that I got so many people. 600 something. Not bad. I guess it's the fact that it's still weekend over in the Americas contributed a bit to that. And like I said, I think tomorrow I will do an evening stream, not here along the Chuo line tracks, but somewhere else in Tokyo. So please join me for that. And most likely this Chuo line walk will probably continue maybe Thursday, but more likely this coming weekend. So yeah, this week is pretty messed up, so I can't really give you a schedule, but generally what I'm trying to do is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, yes. But this week, obviously today is Monday here, and I'm streaming, so because I couldn't stream this weekend. But yeah, thanks a lot for joining me. お疲れ様でした。ありがとうございました。ありがとうございます。Thanks everyone, and I'll see you all soon, I hope. And if you enjoyed this walk, consider joining my YouTube page or joining me on Patreon. The link is in the video description. I have a little merch store if you want to order my photos. Check out that as well. Okay, I'm such a bad salesman. Thanks everyone, and see you next time. Bye bye. またね。